everyone, and welcome to Media EQ, the show where I talk about things I find interesting, and lucky for you, I'm cool enough to record it. Well, happy holidays, everyone. I took a little bit of a break just to prepare for the holiday and to also experience the holiday. But here I am. And speaking of the holiday, we just recently had Thanksgiving. And I feel like what comes up when you're celebrating Thanksgiving is like gratitude and giving thanks for things. I mean, it's literally in the name. So today's episode is going to be about gratitude. I want to talk to you guys about having gratitude, experiencing gratitude, and why gratitude is going to change your life for the better. So lock in and let's give thanks. So I really just want to chit-chat with you guys today about gratitude. And when I say chit-chat, I just want this to kind of be like informal. I don't really have any particular lessons to teach you, and I don't have any definitions to give you. I really just want to talk. I've been finding it imperative to be more grateful and to notice the things in my life that are positive. And I feel like we could all use that reminder sometimes, especially as we're approaching the end of one year and the beginning of a new year. I think we're all in this kind of reflection mode. What have I accomplished this year? What do I still want to accomplish next year? And in that process, I feel like it's really easy to get sidetracked. I think it's so much easier, and I don't know why this is, but it's so much easier for us to focus on the negative apart from the positive, right? It's so easy to look at where we fell short, where we didn't do what we said we were gonna do, where we didn't accomplish the things that we wanted to accomplish. It's easy to focus on like the people who hate us more than the people who love us. And I think that that can be a really bleak and fleeting way to live. And I don't want to live like that anymore. And I feel like as a unit here on this channel, we should all push for and strive for better days ahead, especially as we're entering into a new year. This month already, December, gets me in my like, where am I gonna go feeling, because I was born in December. My birthday is coming up. What is today? The 4th? My birthday is coming up in like 23 days. So I'm starting like a whole new process of life. I'm making my journey around the sun, and I'm stepping toward something new, a new age, which comes with new lessons, new experiences, new people, you know, like new promises of life. And I think in this process, I want to be more reflective and more grateful for all of where I've come. Because the me that sits before you today is not the me that was, you know, in high school. It's not the me that was in college. And not to say that the me that was in high school or the me that was in college was not amazing. I mean, she absolutely was. She laid the foundation for who I am today. I say that as well, though, to honor the person that I am now and to note how far I've come. Despite whatever I thought was gonna happen by this age when I was like 16, that doesn't matter. What we do need to acknowledge, what I do need to acknowledge, is who I am and where I am. So that whole process has me like in this reflective mode, and it makes me want to be more grateful and focus more on the positives in my life than on the negatives. And I hope you will join me in that process. So first off, gratitude, right? Like, what is gratitude? Gratitude is being thankful, acknowledging and noticing. I feel like that's like the key point. In order to acknowledge, we have to notice. Let's notice the things in our life that are great, the things in our life that we are grateful for, the things in our life that if it weren't that, we would not be as happy as we are now. We would not be as far along as we are now. Even if you feel like in your current life right now you're not happy, I encourage you to like look at the things that you can be grateful for, you can be ecstatic about, right? You woke up this morning. That's a feat. You know how many people didn't do that? It's interesting because, you know, when you don't know someone personally who has passed away, and I hope that for you, I hope that you know days, many days, where you don't know people who have passed away. There still are so many people who have passed away, which leaves so many people here on earth who have to deal with that fact, you know? If you ever, and I know people don't do this really anymore, but if you ever grab the newspaper and flip to the obituary section, there's so many people there. Always. No matter the day, no matter the month, no matter the week, there are people in that section, which means there are families who are grieving the loss of someone. You are not having to deal with that as of currently, hopefully, as I'm talking to the person. I'm assuming that I'm talking to someone who is not dealing with that. That's something to be grateful for. Think about your family who does not have to grieve the fact that you've passed, right? Because you're able to watch this right now, so you're still with us. The people who don't have to reap and be in sorrow because you're gone. That's something to be grateful for. I know that it can feel really easy to say like, nobody would miss me. You know, I'm insignificant. I'm just one person. If I left, like, who would care? Baby, so many people would care. So many people would care. Oh my goodness. Even if it's not the people that society deems should care, like your parents, your best friend, your partner, even if those things don't align for you, there are people who love you and look forward to seeing you. You wouldn't even know it, you know? There are people who pass you on the street daily, or who see you at like the local spot, like the local coffee shop, or, you know, people at your yoga studio, your Pilates studio, whatever you do, your workout studio, that bank on seeing you, even if they've never spoken to you. Have you ever seen a person super frequently and like you look forward to seeing them? Even if it's not in anticipation of like, wow, I love seeing that person, just the note of like the familiarity that comes with like, every time I pass on the street, I see Bob. Look at Bob. You would notice if Bob wasn't there, wouldn't you? I want you to know that people feel that way about you as well. People who come to your job, like let's say you are, you know, a waitress, and they often visit the diner that you work at. That person is like, where is Meredith? Look, there she is, right? And you've just made that person's day. There are people who are grateful for your presence here on this earth. I'm grateful. You're watching this video right now. I appreciate your viewership. There are people who celebrate you. That is something to be grateful for. Along with you being grateful for the fact that you woke up this morning, the fact that there are people who are also grateful that you woke up this morning. There are people who don't have to mourn today because you are still here. That's something to be grateful for. And you know, when you start to look at life through that lens, it puts things into perspective. It makes it feel less lonely and less convoluted and stressful. Yes, that big thing in your life, that goal that you wrote down on your board, it may not have come to fruition yet, but baby, you're still alive to see another day, to put more effort toward it. Your family, the people that you love, that you care about, are still here celebrating you, clapping with you, in this journey with you. That's something to be grateful for. I think too, during this whole thing, like, I also want to think about the things that I'm grateful for. So therefore, you know, if you're struggling with coming up with your list of gratitude, maybe this can give you some inspiration. I also am grateful for the fact that I'm alive today. I'm able-bodied. I'm able to sit here before you and, you know, set up my equipment and be able to sit here and have this conversation with you. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that there are people who listen. I'm grateful that, you know, there are people who consume my work and think like, you know, I feel heard, I feel seen, I feel more qualified in this journey of life because of media EQ. That makes me feel hella grateful. Like, I'm very appreciative of that process. I'm grateful for the fact that I just had a great Thanksgiving. I love my family, and we are not perfect by any means, honey. Any means. But you know what's consistent is that they're there, that they're gonna cook. Somebody's gonna cook. It's Thanksgiving. It's a holiday. Somebody's gonna whip up some amazing food in the kitchen. I come from a long line of talented cooks. I don't know who taught them. I don't know where the book is. I don't know if somebody wrote it down. I need that real quick. And I'm just grateful for that. I'm grateful that, you know, they get up every holiday and they're like, this person's gonna make this person's gonna make that, and we're all gonna celebrate and we're gonna eat and we're gonna enjoy each other. I love that. I love coming together and seeing, you know, where people are. My cousins, obviously, like the millennials of the family, or the people who are like right outside millennialism, you know, who have social media. I'm grateful that we can still stay in contact with one another when it's not holidays. I love seeing, you know, that my cousins are going to an event and they're getting all dressed up and they're about to have fun. I love that. And I love that they get to see me do it. Even, you know, mundane, everyday stuff like going to my Pilates studio. I'm grateful for my Pilates studio, okay? Side note. But I'm grateful that they get to interact with me while I like live my life. And from behind a screen, they're able to say like, look, Mackie's good. She's okay. That's nice. You know, when I say my grace, like when I, you know, have food before me, I always give God the thanks for that food. And in that prayer, I am thankful for like my financial standing, especially in today's economy, right? People are struggling. Groceries? Have you been to the grocery store? That place might as well be the mall. That place might as well be like the new designer. You know how people flex like, Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga. I'm finna flex my Ralph's bags. Look how many Ralph's bags I walked out with. Oh, she got money, okay? It's expensive to go to the grocery store. So like whatever it is that you walked in there and you got, if you made a list and you were able to walk out with your list, grateful, hello, gratitude. There are so many people, and it's a shame. It truly, truly is, because we, have billionaires in this world. And I feel like what the Bible says, too much is given, much is required. There's so many people who could like extend just a little bit. I'm not telling you ever to come up off your financial standing. I never would suggest that, because hello, I want to be there one day. I'd love to be a billionaire. I think that in that process, it is your duty, though, to reach back and to ensure that those who maybe are not as financially able are able, right? And I'm not telling you gotta I'm not telling these people they have to take care of the rest of the world, but a little goes a long way. I'm grateful for the fact that financially I'm able to exist in today's economy. I'm grateful that, if I'm hungry, I can eat. I'm grateful that I have food to prepare myself, for lunch, for dinner, for breakfast. That is such a blessing. It truly is. It's a blessing that I have a place to lay my head at night. It's a blessing that I have a bed to sleep in. It's a blessing that I have blankets to keep me warm, heat to suffice me in the wintertime. I'm blessed that when it gets hot, I can turn on a fan. I can turn on the air condition. I'm blessed to have clean drinking water. Do you guys remember, Flint, Michigan? I don't know if you guys were around during that time when it was all over the media that they didn't even have clean drinking water. And I've heard that as of recently, the last year or two, some places in Flint still don't have clean drinking water. Perhaps maybe many places in Flint, Michigan still don't have clean drinking water. So to be able to turn on your faucet and wash your dishes with pure water or clean water, or so they say, that's a blessing. That's truly a blessing. I feel like we take for granted being able to get on Amazon. I hear everywhere I go now, Amazon is like the new Walmart, the new Kmart, the new, what are big stores that everybody goes to? Target. Hello, good morning. The new Target. Amazon is like that for us. The ability to be able to go on Amazon and be like, ooh, you know what I don't have? Decoration for this new holiday. It's about to be Christmas and I need 47 Santa Clauses. Thank you, add to cart purchase. A blessing, right? The ability to have a cell phone and be able to engage with people on social media like TikTok and even watch them do the trends, even if you're not participating and going to Home Goods and putting things in your cart for a large audience, the ability to be able to watch someone else do it, a blessing. You know what? And people... And I'm just, like I said, this is a chit-chat, so we're just talking all over the place. People will say what they will about, America and living in the country in which they live. Do you recognize that as a civilian, as a resident of America, you can walk out of your house and 85% of the time, depending on the area, you are able to walk out and not duck bullets, to not duck helicopters, to not wonder if a bomb is gonna go off. And I get that, we can't do that with 100% certainty because, it is still the world and there are still evil spirits out there. But for the most part, you can assure I'm gonna get to my destination safely and I'm gonna return home safely. That's a blessing. Do you recognize how many countries don't have that privilege? How many people in other countries are seeking refuge in hospitals and then boom, the hospital blows up? How many people are losing their family to famine and to war? And you could just go call your grandma right now. If you have your grandparents here, give them a call, give them a text. Just, hi grandma, hi grandpa, I'm just thinking of you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your work. I appreciate your service, right? Because if it wasn't for grandma, grandpa, you wouldn't be here because your mama, your daddy, somebody wouldn't have been here to be able to have you. That's a blessing. Tell your grandparents Mackie Speak said what's up. Okay, we appreciate them. I'm grateful for my television, right? As mundane as that might sound, and all of us are on our phones now. I'm happy that I can come sit on my couch and watch some TV. I'm happy that I have a smart TV. Thank you, God, for my smart TV, for the financial ability to have my smart TV. I actually got my smart TV last year for my birthday. My dad was here in California and he took me to get a TV. I was like, Dad, I need a TV. And he was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go get a TV. He bought me a huge TV and a huge TV stand, and I'm grateful for this TV. I'm grateful that it has Netflix on there, and I've been very much enjoying watching Gossip Girl. Thank you, Netflix, for putting Gossip Girl back on Netflix. I'm grateful for that. But I'm just grateful for my television, you know? I'm grateful for the sound bar that exists with my television, the stand of which my TV sits on. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my refrigerator. And while that all might seem like trivial, think about if your refrigerator went out right now and it wasn't cold tomorrow. Is your food going to be healthy and able for you to eat it? No, it will not. Let's not be thankful for stuff when we don't have it anymore, right? What's the saying that's like, you recognize the good stuff when it's gone? Let's not wait, bro. Let's not only give people their flowers now, let's give our life its flowers now. I'm grateful that my refrigerator is working today. I'm grateful that when I shower, my water is hot. You know? I'm grateful that when I go to close my door, it doesn't fall off the hinges. Wouldn't that ruin your day? It would. You know? Imagine you got to go to work and like, the door fell. You got to be thinking about that all day at work. Grateful that didn't happen. Grateful that, the lights didn't go out while you were sleeping and therefore your alarm doesn't go off. Hello, good morning. That's something to be grateful for. Grateful for the ability to read. You know how many people in this world cannot read? You'd be surprised. You would be shocked, okay? And we need to keep that skill going for the youth. Let's be grateful that we, as those who have had the skills, are able to pass those skills down to the youth. Let's not lose the passion for education so that we don't want to teach it to the youth. I know the parameters are tough and they're stressful. Hopefully, as we move toward, brighter tomorrows, brighter is there for us. And we have the things that can keep us going and keep us elevated and uplifted in the process of teaching what we know to the people coming after us. Let's not get complacent with the fact that, I don't like the circumstances, so therefore I'm not going to pass down the knowledge. No, the kids need to learn. I mean, think about it. We don't want to be the old people, and the kids who will then be the adults, they don't know nothing. How are they going to help us? We're doomed. Let's not be doomed. Let's be grateful for what we know, and let's pass it down to the children, all right? I'm grateful that I can read, and I'm going to make sure somebody else knows how to read. My kids, your kids, the kids that I work with, we got to read, all right? Not all, but it's on TikTok. It's going to read it for me. I can just ask Chat-GPT. That's not enough. We all need to know how to read. I'm grateful that I can read. What else am I grateful for? I'm looking around the room. I'm like, what's in the room? Can I speak about? I'm grateful that I have dishes. Okay, let me tell you something. When I was getting ready to go home for Thanksgiving, I'm cleaning. I'm getting my I'm getting my apartment prepared for myself to return, and I want it to be clean so that I can have a clear mind when I come home. I'm cleaning my dishes, right? I have a skillet. Literally, the skillet had been from college. I'd had the skillet since undergrad. Mind you, I have a master's degree and I've been working, okay? It's an old skillet. I was like, you know what? I don't want to clean this skillet because when I make eggs in my skillet, I'm like, I hate cleaning the eggs out of the skillet. Like, why is this so strenuous, And at this point, I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to get a new skillet. I'm not going to sit here and stress myself out cleaning the skillet. We're going to throw it away. And that's what I did. I threw the skillet away. Well, guess what? I come home from Thanksgiving. I forget that I threw the skillet away. And I go to make some dinner last night. Guess who recognized and remembered that they threw their skillet away? Me. Do you know how I miss having a skillet? And you know how I'm like, oh, you know what? I got to go get a skillet. Be thankful for the skillet that you have because you didn't have that realization the last time that you went to go make some eggs. You were like, you know what? My pot and my pan were right here. Think of those people who don't have their pots and those pans. And I'm not just talking about me who threw theirs away because, I'll get another one. What about the people who can't afford pots and pans? Your worst day, honey, the thing that you feel is like unbearable, that's somebody's best day. Somebody could only dream of that life. Be grateful for the world that exists around you, regardless of your circumstances. And you know what? If you're like Mackie Speaks, there's nothing in my life I can be grateful for. Everything is trash. Okay, great. You've recognized that. Now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit in trash? Or what can we do? How can we change what we see? How can we make a reality in which we are grateful for? Maybe your challenge is not to be grateful for your current situation, but to acknowledge where you are, to notice where you are, and to strive for more. I mean, we should always strive for more. But if you truly look around your life right now, and aside from, I'm grateful that I woke up this morning, there's nothing else. How can we change that? I don't know the answer because I don't know your situation. If you were my client and you were sitting in front of me, we theorize, we talk through, we'd make plans, we'd make actionable goals. But for you right now, I'm challenging you. Be your own therapist in this moment. Where can you be better? And then, you know what? This is a challenge for all of us. I'm thinking about it right now. Where can I be better? And I'm like, ooh, boom, 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 boom. I can already hear them because I'm a very self-aware person. And so sometimes to my own detriment, right? But I can acknowledge where there's growth needed. I don't think gratitude has to take you away from striving for more. You should always strive for more. If you're on this earth, you should always be willing to learn more, do better, see more, and extend yourself to people who are coming behind you. That should always be your mindset. That doesn't mean that where you've come is not important, though. What you've built so far is not worthy of acknowledgement and praise. And that's all we're doing here today. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that girl in COVID who was stressed out. I'm talking about me. Stressed out. Who was like, what is next? Where do I go? Is life ever going to be fun again? Hello, I'm in my early 20s. Like, I'm supposed to be out here living. I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful she didn't give up. I'm grateful that she prepared herself. She was on the internet. She was putting herself out there in forms of jobs and careers. And that made it to where, she was able to get jobs and she was able to work and she was able to establish a legacy for herself. Even if your legacy is 20 minutes, it's something. It's something that you did and you contributed to. So I'm grateful for the me back then who prepared me for the me right now. Same to say, I'm grateful for that 16-year-old girl who's in her room and she was dreaming and manifesting and wanting a life that me here in my 20s is living. I thought about that the other day. I'm like, girl, 16-year-old me would be like, T, you ate, you really ate, and you're continuing to eat. 16-year-old me would be like, you sit where when you go to concerts? Front row? Oh, baby, you've been to Coachella how many times? Wait. You live in California? By yourself? In a nice apartment? Oh, you're eating. You ate. And wait. How do you dress? Let me see your clothes. Okay. And you got your own whip? You drive it? Ooh, you know what I mean? Like, take some time to think about the you that was like 10, that was 14, that was 16, that was 19, that was 20, that was 30. Would they be proud of who you are now? I don't even have to know you. And I'm sure there's a phase in your life before today that will be ecstatic about who you are right now. Even if you are in the pits of hell right now, even if you feel like life could not get worse, guess what? There's a you previous to now that is like, I applaud your ability to be self-aware, to recognize the need for growth and change. I applaud you for recognizing that you deserve more and that you are ready and you are gaining the strength to remove yourself from the situation that we currently exist in that we don't want to be in. That is growth. That is strength. That is something to be proud of. Don't sell yourself short. Just don't do it. Don't do it. We need to really acknowledge we really are those girls. We really are those guys. We have committed ourselves to our life on a daily basis. We're not mean to people. We don't sabotage people. Do you know that there are people who exist in this world who wake up every day and think about, how can I ruin so-and-so's day? How can I wreak havoc on the world around me? You're not one of those people. That's something to be grateful for. Look at you, existing in this world with light and love. Staying to yourself, minding your business, not getting in anybody's way, doing your own thing, making the world a better place, making your world a better place, which extends to the collective of all of us? What about the fact that when you go to the movies, you don't talk during the movies? Wow, you just have created an ambiance for somebody else. When they go to tell a story about when they saw this movie, how they can be like, and the movie theater was so nice and everybody was just so polite and respectful. You were a part of that. Look at you. That's something to be grateful for. In the same token, the last time you went to the movies, people weren't screaming and yelling and getting up running around. Something to be thankful for. Look around your house right now. Do you have photos of your family that are printed out, that you guys are smiling and you're happy? Not only should we be grateful for the memories that exist in those photos, but let's also be grateful for the fact that we have the photos. You know, there are some people who have experienced natural disasters like hurricanes, earthquakes, and fires, and they've lost their memories. But there your memory sits on the refrigerator, on the counter, on the walls. That's something to be grateful for. The fact that, you know, if you have children, the fact that you know where they are right now. Wow. Something to be grateful for. It's so easy for us to compare ourselves and to look at other people's lives and to feel as though we've done something wrong or we're not adequate in this journey, you know, that they call living. But see, that's easy. That's an easy mindset to inhabit. The idea of comparison, the spirit of jealousy and envy, that's easy. You know what is difficult and what requires strength? Your ability to see yourself in the chaos. Your ability to look around yourself and say, wow, thank you, Lord. Thank you for what I exist in right now. Thank you for the breath in my body. Thank you for the brain in my skull. Thank you for the fact that when I move my fingers, they bend, right? I know people who have hurt their finger and it like doesn't bend all the way down like it's supposed to. The fact that you can stand up, the fact that when you sit down, you stand up, something to be grateful for. There are people who struggle to get out of bed. There's people who struggle to walk. And look at you just walking. Not only that, some of y'all be running for a living. Some of y'all run daily. Something to be grateful for. I think that in this time of the holiday season, yes, be merry, be happy, be joyful, be with your family. But do not forget to be reflective and to put into perspective how far you've come, how much you've accomplished, all the things around you that you've built, that you've worked for, that were given to you, that people helped you to achieve. We can't go further without knowing what we have currently. We are blessed when we are able to acknowledge what we've already been blessed with. You want more? Look around you. And don't forget about what you currently have, what you already have, what you've already experienced. Don't forget about that. Those are not trivial throwaway experiences. Those are the things that are building the story that you're gonna tell one day. Everybody looks for the day when, you know, we can all sit on a stage and we have a mic in our hands and we can say, this is what I've done, this is what I've built, this is what I've accomplished. And that's the moment that we feel like deserves our gratitude and deserves our reflectiveness. But what if you had that moment right now? What if you didn't need someone to tap you on the shoulder and acknowledge the greatness that you already are? What if you could do that for yourself? Every single day, whenever you want. It doesn't have to be every single day, whenever you want. Whenever you want to say, you know what, I deserve a little star treatment right now. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to think about all the things that I've done that have been awesome. All the things that I've experienced that have been awesome. All the ways that people have helped me and have been awesome in my life. I'm going to think about those kids that I've created and how smart and funny and amazing and creative they are. And how they wouldn't be those things if they didn't have the love that I give them daily, the protection that I give them daily. And I'm not telling you to make other people's lives all about yourself, but I am telling you to acknowledge the ways that you shine. You deserve that. The world deserves that. If we were nicer to ourselves, we would be nicer to others. That, my friends, is the truth. That's the knowledge. That's the real of this conversation. If we were nicer to ourselves, we would be nicer to other people. And man, wouldn't it be awesome if we existed in a world like that? Where we were all just happy to be here, grateful for what we've experienced. You know what? And I'm going to say something controversial here. A little unpopular opinion. even the bad times. Because you know what? Those bad times, they taught you something. You know, you experience something you don't like. Guess what? You're moving differently so you don't experience it again. That's knowledge. That's wisdom. And remember, I talked about earlier, passing that down to other people so they don't have to have the same memory. They can have even better memories. And that's what it's about. Let's have better memories. Let's let the people who come behind us have even better memories than we have. And then the people who come behind them, even better. And so on and so forth. I'm saying, man, a couple generations down the line, gonna be living sweet. Okay? They're gonna be learning. And I'm not saying that they're not gonna have their problems. Of course they will. You know, in this life we will have trouble. But through that trouble we gain wisdom. And we should pass that wisdom down so that the road gets a little smoother. I challenge you right now to look around you, think in your brain, write it down. 5 things. 5 things right now that you're grateful for, that exist in your life, that are things that you accomplish, that are things around you that you can see, that you can touch, you can feel, you can use your senses to explore. 5 things that you're grateful for. And if you really want to get saucy, I challenge you to do this same method every day for a week. Let's look at 5 things that we can out loud state, we can write down, that we can acknowledge, that we can notice, that we are grateful for every day for a week. And I'm talking 7 days, okay? Not just Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday too. What are you grateful for? What deserves your attention right now? I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for me and how amazing and pretty and fabulous and fun and smart I am. What are you grateful for? Don't waste this time. Don't wait for that moment where someone else has to tap you and tell you, you've done a great job. Let's talk about it. No, let's talk about it every single day. When that moment comes and they tap you, I want it to be so mundane and so regular that you're like, yeah, what do you want to know? Yeah, I did do that. I did. And it was fabulous. Yeah. And you know what you didn't know is that 20 seconds ago, I took a deep breath and that's good for my nervous system. So pretty grateful for that as well. And no, we're not here to create narcissists and only acknowledge the things that we've done well. But in noticing ourselves, we notice the world. It's the first step. What are you grateful for today? All right, everyone, that is going to bring us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for sitting down with me for our little chit chat about gratitude. I kind of like these more like informal conversations. I feel like we do have informal conversations, but they are, mixed with a lot of like knowledge and information, and I am discussing. And I guess I kind of did that today, but I personally felt more relaxed. So I don't know, maybe I should explore this a little bit more. I enjoyed being grateful with you. This has been as good for me as I hope it has been for you as well. Let's be more grateful. Let's spread more positivity and gratefulness into this world, and let's see what comes from it. I bet we'd be living in some better days. I encourage you all to adhere to the challenge of 5 things, noting 5 things that you're grateful for, and taking that into your upcoming week and spreading that gratefulness all throughout the week and all throughout the holiday, and tap somebody else on the shoulder and challenge them as well. What can we be grateful for? Where can we acknowledge our growth? Maybe where can we acknowledge the need for growth? And let's walk into the new year better people than we already have been. Thank you so much again for sitting down with me for a little chit chat, a little gratitude chit chat. And I hope to see you in my next episode. I'm sure I will. Until then, I'll see you next time right here on Media EQ, the show where I talk about things I find interesting. And lucky for you, I'm cool enough to record it. Bye, guys.